Hey guys, it's Animelover and I'm back with another video. So in this video, I'm going to be doing another review type video. And in advance, I do apologize for the setup. It's not really the best right now. As I'm in my living room like I was the last two videos, and all that. So I apologize if the setup sucks or if the audio sucks for the intro and all that. It's all I can work with right now, so I do apologize. So in this video, I'm actually going to be reviewing some acrylic markers, since I've actually been wanting to review some, not review, but more just have some with all the enemy basically like videos I've been seeing with people, and it sucks so much. Fangirl had like bought these and all that, and she was like, I got you these because these are the ones you wanted, and I was like, are you talking about the enemy acrylic ones? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't think this is the same brand. And she's like, wait, what? And she was so sad because she thought she got me the exact one, but these are the Jusart ones, which I've actually never heard of these. The review said they were good from what she said, so which is why she got this brand specifically. I am curious to actually see what this like how these work and how these feel and all that, since I've never worked with acrylic markers, let alone like any type of like paint markers like in general. So I am curious to see how these work. How I haven't even like opened the packaging. That's how much I don't even know about this, because all of our other reviews that I've done so far, I've basically already opened them and I've already like maybe tested them out slightly. This, I am going in blind. You guys are gonna just see my blind reaction to this, and I'm just like, oh. To this, like, I'm excited. I'm really happy that Fangirl got me these, and you know, it's like an early Christmas present for me, because that's basically what it was, because she knew I wanted them so badly. So let's open these things up and see how they work. So basically, while opening these, I was actually super excited to just see what there was, because I didn't really like pay much attention to the box or all that, because I wanted to be kind of like fully surprised when I opened it all. And I was definitely thoroughly surprised upon seeing metallic markers and also a color sheet. So I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, oh, I didn't know that they had those in there. I expected maybe they would have it, but normally I just don't expect it most times from any type of brand putting it in. So that was already nice to do. I also apologize that it's off screen. I didn't realize until like a little bit later that it was fully off screen, and I was like, oh, 1 second, let me move it in. And when I was testing them out, like color-wise, swatching them all, I thought they were actually really nice and really smooth and very juicy, for acrylic markers. To be fair, I am no expert in acrylic markers. I've never used any. This is my first time ever using acrylic markers. So, my opinion, I'm not sure about. But I thought they were really nice for the markers that I had, and that they were just really just smooth and nice. I did notice that they were slightly transparent, at least with the lighter markers, and so that was definitely something I did notice. And you're obviously probably supposed to put more layers with those, but I did notice a bit of transparency, at least in the lighter colors. Darker colors are dark colors, and majority of the time they're more opaque than the lighter ones. So that was something I did notice while doing this, because sometimes I would accidentally go out of the lines of the little box, and then I would see that it would show like a little bit of the line, and I was like, oh yeah, well, that makes sense that they would be transparent. after color swatching everything, I decided let me, do some little tests with the markers to see basically how they just write, how they just go on the paper and all that. So this is basically what I'm doing right now. Actually, I was quite surprised that they weren't, which I assumed they wouldn't be this, but they are very, they don't bleed through the paper, and I for some reason thought they would. I don't know why I thought they would be like alcohol markers, but they actually did not bleed, and I was quite surprised by that. I also was testing to see if, like, how they just felt, because sometimes, acrylic markers, of my knowledge, like, they feel weird. No, these felt really smooth with one layer, and they still felt kind of smooth with maybe, like, a few more layers. Like, it wasn't bad, where, like, most, like, it kind of bulks up and it's kind of weird, so I was actually quite surprised by that, and it was like a nice feeling kind of thing. It felt weird to an extent, unless it was one layer, but I did like the feeling of it, because it didn't really leave that much of a feeling. I also wanted to see how dark colors and light colors kind of worked. So that was definitely me, what I was doing with the blue and the yellow. And obviously what I did find out was that obviously light colors don't really want to go on top of the dark colors. It could have been maybe that the paint was still too wet, and all that, but I very much struggled with adding any type of layering on top of the dark color with the yellow, that it also stained my thing, which is what I was doing, cleaning it up, by scribbling everywhere on the paper. I also wanted to test out how metallics basically worked on each other or worked on top of, like, other markers. This is also me layering on top of it to see, like, how many layers can I do until, one, it eats up the paper, or until it starts feeling weird. It took about 4 layers. 3 layers, it was already trying to, like, eat up the paper. 4 was just me stretching it at that point. But yeah, metallic markers are really kind of weird. Like, I only tested it on metallic, like, it just itself. I should have maybe tested it on, like, normal, like, colors, but it was very weird on how it, like, just went on, because it, like, I don't know how to explain it. It, like, went on, but, like, wherever the other metallic marker was underneath, you could see underneath it for some reason. It was really weird. Obviously, at this point, I needed to start thinking of what I was going to do with these markers and what type of, like, just drawing I wanted to do. And I had an idea from the beginning, and I really, and I mean I really, wanted to draw this little sloth that we got just recently. Fangirl had gotten this little sloth plushie, and it just kept staring at me while I was out there, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna draw this sloth. His name is Jason. I asked Fangirl earlier. She walked out while I was recording at one point, and I was asking her, what do you want to name the sloth? And she's like, Jason. I'm like, got it. Jason's his name, so his name is Jason now. But I basically was trying to plan out what I was trying to do. I was trying to just one, see how to draw a sloth in the process, seeing how comfortable I can get drawing a sloth. But also I just wanted to see what I wanted to do with it, because there were obviously a lot of things I could do, like it sleeping, or sleeping on a branch, or just sitting on a branch, but I don't know. I was, like, trying to figure things out. I came up with 2 ideas that I really liked, but I solely went with one because I was not confident in myself with these markers, like, at all. So I went with a little bit more of a simpler one, and I think, in my opinion, I think it was the best choice, at least for what it was. I'm hoping maybe one day I can do the other one, just for fun, but we'll definitely see about that. So it's been a minute since I have actually, like, used a pencil and done traditional art kind of thing. So it was definitely interesting to get back into it. It was actually really fun to get back into it. I forgot how much I enjoy pencil and how much I enjoy just the process of creating something and all that on paper. Normally I just use a pen and I just add color sloppily, but I forgot like how nice it was to like finish kind of like a product on paper, and it was really nice while doing this. I was having so much fun. I was also using a kneaded eraser instead of like an eraser. Thank you to my friend Kay for that. She gave us some kneaded erasers, I think, for our birthday or a Christmas present. Can't remember which one. I just know it was a gift, and I am using them because she gave them, and I'm going to try to use this thing to the full extent of it. I normally don't like kneaded erasers, but I will definitely try to get it more into it with doing more of these videos. So this was the point where I finally got to use them in a big kind of project instead of just color swatching and all that. And honestly, I thoroughly kind of enjoy the process. I did have to work backwards of how I normally work, which is I work where I outline and then I add color. I had to work backwards from that, and it was definitely weird to do that. I wasn't a huge fan on that, but I did get used to it over time and all that. It just took a little bit of kind of relearning with these markers. And then I assumed that's how I was going to have to work with these markers, since obviously I've watched people use paint markers and that's kind of the route they always have to go and all that. So I kind of already had a feeling that was how I was going to have to do this. I actually was quite surprised while doing this that it did work actually really well on the paper I was using, which was relatively thin paper. I'm working in the same sketchbook that I basically was doing the color swatching in, and it basically is a much thinner paper than what was provided, obviously with the color swatch sheet and all that, which was more of like, I think it was like a cool press kind of paper. I don't know the difference between papers. I just know it felt like a watercolor type paper or something, but it felt like, it felt thicker, basically, and it felt bristly. Well, this did not have that at all. This was just a smooth, thin paper, not exactly like copy paper, but to an extent, it could have been copy paper. Just a little bit, like, more resilient to, like, markers and stuff like that. But, I was surprised that it even, like, worked well with it. And I, was actually it did want to, like, bend on the paper. That was annoying. I had to fix it. There is a moment where I'm trying to fold it back down. I'm like, stay down, man. You're being annoying. But that was just so I could get it to actually, like, just be nice while I was working. And honestly, overall, I actually thoroughly did enjoy these markers a lot. Like, the pros of these markers, that they went on really smooth on, so far, any paper I used, they went on really smoothly. They're very juicy, and they are very much, like, I was so happy that we got, like, yes, it's a 60 pack, but I actually really liked all the colors that they provided and all that, and it just honestly was just really nice to have all the colors, and they were kind of in rainbowish order. At least they were very nicely, like, packaged and stuff. They come with a color sheet, so you can basically, swatch all your colors. Really liked that, because I kept looking back and forth between that. And basically, they're just really nice markers. I really enjoy these. As someone who's never used acrylic markers, these are, like, really nice for, like, a starter kind of, like, getting into them kind of set. I probably won't really fully get into them. I'm probably not going to use them for their intended purposes at all, but maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I think they are very fun to use, and I definitely do recommend these markers to anyone who is interested. That being said, there are definitely cons to them as well. Some colors were definitely really, and I mean really, transparent. I was using, a pink, and it was, like, so transparent. It, like, showed up on, like, the paper, but then it, like, went away. And I was like, oh, ooh, that's an ugly color. So obviously I had to go back and add more layers, which I think is the intended purpose of acrylic markers, but it was still very weird to me and something I was trying to get used to. Wasn't a huge fan on that, but other than that, that was one of the bigger problems. The other problem I had was the stupid packaging. I hated that packaging for, like, the life of me. I could not fight. I had to fight the markers out every time I needed one, and I was like, can you just stop being irritating at this point? And it just wouldn't stop, and it was just so frustrating, that even in the end, I took them all out, and me and Fangirl both put, like, little, circle things on their, brush, lids, just so I can see the colors and all that, instead of having to look at the actual numbers, because that is another problem I had, was the numbers, because they have, like, numbers and what they're basically called and all that, and it was so little, it was hard to see that it just wasn't worth, keeping at least one side with it. So on the brush side, we literally just added little circled cutout stuff and put it on the lids just to make it easier. But it was definitely very, and I mean very, annoying to see that. But overall, I actually really enjoyed these more than I thought I was going to, and I definitely recommend these for anyone who is, wanting to get into acrylic markers and don't want to go with the super, super expensive stuff and all that. And, I do suggest this, not sponsored, just saying that here now, not sponsored, bought this with our own money, but I really did enjoy using these. Since we're getting close to the end of the video, I'm going to do a self-promotion because, well, I can. So if you want to support us, then please consider checking out our Patreon and Ko-fi, which will be in the description down below. Basically with our Patreon, it is exclusive art or exclusive sketches, or just straight up just early access to art before we even post it to the public, which could be months before we post it to the public sometimes. You can also check out our Ko-fi, which is where all of our commission stuff is. You can get basically yachas, basic commission stuff like headshots, full bodies, stuff like that. So if you want to support us and you want us to, continue making videos and all that, then please consider maybe checking those out. If not, that's completely okay as well. Your guys' support on the videos is also just enough as well. If you also really do enjoy these videos and want to see more of them, please let us know down in the comments down below, because it does help seeing that you guys are very interested and, enjoying these videos and all that. If you guys did enjoy this video and do want to see more, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!